Wow, there's so many different makeup looks in here. It's crazy. Started this off, I think it was around September last year. So today we'll be going through some of my most recent looks. Let's unpack the many phases, some of my most recent work that I've been capturing through makeup wipes. I'm closing out this book here. I don't know if I'm going to continue this, but since September, I've been collecting a lot of my favorite makeup looks in a binder. And before we even jump into it, do we like the mug? You know, something simple, nothing too crazy. I figured I wouldn't get too crazy with the mug and I would do my regular skin tone because there's a lot of color in here. There's about 25 looks, so we have a lot to get through. All right, so up first we have this makeup look. I remember this being a really fun makeup look. I just ordered some Mayron paint sticks in the pastels. This is the first time I got to see how color theory really impacts the blend. When I had the orange and the blue blending, it started creating a more neutral color, which I actually started to really enjoy. You'll see that combination a lot in some of my future looks. But yeah, one of my favorites, kicking things off with this look here. Up next, we have this look. This look was actually inspired by Worst Girl in America by Slater. Sometimes when I come up with makeup looks, it's a song that I want to create a look for or the other way around. So in this case, Worst Girl in America just came out and this was the look that came of it. I wanted to do something with like skin tone and almost make it look like they were flashbangs. Really cool. Love this look. All right, and then up next, this one is not really a favorite of mine. I don't know, I don't have much to say about this look other than the color blue, but not much to say about that one. Just a really cool look and really cool eye shape. For this look, the only reason why it's in this book is because I did dye my hair orange for the Body High tour with FKA Twigs, and I wanted to cement having orange hair because of the amount of processing I did. So that was a look. Really simple, but I really wanted to just highlight the hair a little bit. All right, up next we have probably one of my favorite looks, and it goes back to what I was saying about blending blue and orange and getting that color theory. So the same Mayron paint sticks, I used the pastel blue and pastel orange. This look was actually inspired by a recent trip that I went to some hot springs. So you see how that blue blends into the orange, almost making like a brown because of color theory. It was just something that was unexpected. So I kind of just allowed it to just take shape and take its form. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite looks, and this is when I really started to really feel myself improving and just wanting to play a little bit more with colors. And then up next, we have this look. This is the first time I actually started playing with three-dimensional shapes. If you could see like right here, you could see how that's almost popping off my forehead. I noticed that I do love doing asymmetrical shapes, mostly because the pressure of not having to make things match. And then up next, one of my favorite looks, I know I'm gonna say that throughout. As of late, these recent makeup looks have just been really some of my best work. Now that there's still room to grow, but just to consider how far I've gone is just really cool. So I was planning this leading to May 4th, like Maganda. She's so cunt, like I love her so much. And the way that the print came out is just pure artistry. Like look at her. I specifically remember when this movie came out, my dad had brought my brother and I to the movie theaters. When this came out, it was just such a big deal as a kid, and the impact that it just had on me. Always loved Darth Maul, was such a really cool design, and was really fun to just recreate my own version of him. And then up next, we have this look. So, fun fact, this was supposed to be cyanotype, but it kind of didn't read, so I kind of had to make do with what was happening. The reason why you see some of the green is if you've seen cyanotype, a lot of that starts off with some olive green type of ink or some type of fluid, and when you expose it to UV light, it creates these imprints on cloth or whatever you're doing. And when you wash it, this hyper blue color comes. But that was the inspiration behind this. It doesn't really read, but hey, comes to show that going with the concept, if it's not going the way you originally planned, try your best to salvage it. And this was definitely one of those looks, and I actually really enjoyed how this one came out. And then these next few makeup looks actually kick off one of my favorite music bands, whatever groups you want to call it, but aespa. Like, round of applause for aespa, first of all, for a successful release of Lemonade. But for a very long time, the girls just weren't giving. These next few looks are documenting how I interpreted each of their mini albums and full albums. Kicking us off was Lemonade, and the funny thing is, I wanted to do the aespa series leading to their release, so I was only going off of some of the color stories and some of their teasers. So this look was purely inspired. Obviously, we knew the name, so Lemonade, so that's why you see these little prongs coming in like a lemon. Up next, so someone commented that it was giving Dory from Finding Nemo, and I could kind of see it. But yeah, this was inspired by Rich Man. I believe it was their 5th mini album. And this one by far was one of my favorites. It's also probably one of their biggest hits. It was Whiplash. Miss Princess Ning Ning, of course. This look was actually inspired by her outfit that she wears for the Whiplash video. I use a Medicube collagen peeling mask, and I also use Mayron metallic powder. The funny story though is because I used the metallic mask, the silver area, after I peeled everything off, I had to go back and reapply the metallic mask because obviously the mask took everything off. So in order for me to get the imprint, I did have to reapply that after I peeled the mask off. One look given Whiplash. So cool. Very Terminator vibes, very futuristic. This was inspired by Armageddon, and more so like the skies and the color palette of the music video. So I know it doesn't necessarily read Armageddon, but it was how I interpreted the music video and just the whole era of Armageddon. Makeup print is giving like Teletubby vibes. I don't know why. The little kid or the little baby in the sun when he's like greeting the Teletubbies. Yeah, that's what it's giving. Okay, so this one is actually my profile picture because it's absolutely like top 3 of some of my favorite makeup looks that I've ever done. It's from Drama. The colors, of course, are from the Drama era, so I was inspired by that. The blues from the glare that they wore in the video, and then of course the red because a lot of the blood work because Karina slayed them hoes. And I saw this like really cool Japanese mask that had like blue and red reflective material. So I thought it was really cool to interpret this with like a devil, because what's more dramatic than a demon? Something that I wish that I could have done was to do the shading in the red, is to really practice more with color theory. I did use like a darker red to try to get the shadows. Little did I know you could use green to get a darker red without it looking too muddy. So definitely something that I'll try in the future, but here's for Drama. Up next is probably one of their best albums. I felt so wrong doing this. I don't know, things didn't feel natural when I was creating this look, and maybe because it was the over exaggerated lip, the shape, creating the depth and the green to make it look almost 3D and reflective. This concept actually came from my boyfriend, and I was asking him what should I do for my world, and he sent me a few like reference photos on Pinterest, which I'll pop up here. I didn't want to do a direct copy obviously, but I wanted to be inspired by it and also tie in my world. So this was really fun. Really loved the green and the pink combination with the grayscale skin tone. Up next, I wanted to do something that lent into what I think is my signature stamp, which is a lot of like the face contouring like I have going on right now. But this is what we did for girls. That day I actually used the wrong concealer, so I look even more tan than I typically am. So I had to like really pivot and try to salvage the look. And you notice I have eyebrows, and I typically don't draw eyebrows just because I heavily lean into the alien fantasy. So here I am with eyebrows. And closing out the aespa series is their Savage album. I wanted to lean in more of that three-dimensional that I learned in the previous look, but I wanted to make it almost look like the black ink or whatever you want to call it was invading my face, and I lost control of it. You do see some shadows right here and right here, and I wanted it to blend into the eyes and make it be part of the graphic eye. I will say, anytime I have to do makeup looks on the chin, it is the most difficult thing to do. So if anyone has tips on that, let me know, because I was struggling. I actually really love this look. So yeah, that was the aespa series. So glad that it's part of this book, because honestly, like I said, I don't know that I'm going to do this again. So to know that like some of my favorite looks included one of my favorite bands is like really cool. Listen, couldn't give you Alien Super Cunt if I wasn't the galaxy myself. So here we are. So it does give like galaxy, right? Like that's some kind of planet, the blue, and then of course the purpley black is deep space. And then for some weird reason, the orange with the lilac works. The eye shape had to be very intergalactic. Like you couldn't tell me that if you ran into this Martian in deep space, you wouldn't be like, bitch, you ate. Last year I did a Pride series, and for this year, for Pride, I didn't want to do that just because I didn't want to copy what I did last year. So for Pride, I wanted to do something that just was like a explosion of color. And then I saw this shape. I actually saw it. I was watching TV. I forget what I was watching, and it was some stupid commercial. And I saw that shape and I was like, oh, can that be a makeup look? That's literally how my head be thinking sometimes. But yeah, I thought this was a really cool look. Definitely could see a version of a rainbow in it. Now, the next look was actually, I feel like more people could be inspired by things that surround them versus what other makeup artists are doing. Because mama, I'm tired of seeing the same cut crease. I'm tired of seeing the same blush. And let me be real, like it's just already a saturated market. So give me your POV, because that shit is what's interesting. So for me, this was actually inspired by a supercell thunderstorm. I was actually on social media, but I wasn't looking at makeup. I was actually just browsing like one does, and saw this like incredible supercell thunderstorm. I'll post it right here so you could see it, but I don't know, something about that blue in makeup is just chef's kiss. Like you can't deny the power that blue has in a makeup look. It just looks really cool. So I really wanted to play by that inspiration and create something that gave that blue glow, but also still kept in some of those warm tones for that sun hitting a dramatic grayish blue tone. So yep, really cool. Love this look so much. All right, so this look here was actually not posted. So there are certain looks here that sometimes I just don't have the energy to shoot a makeup reel. And sometimes I just want to create, and that's what this was. I'll definitely take photos, but as far as like shooting video content, it's a lot of work. But yeah, this is one, again, into the Pride series with more color combination. This is the first time I actually used like a same color liner on the same foundation base, which I thought was really cool. This binder is so huge. I wonder how many makeup looks is in here. But the idea of this binder is like when I get old, is I could look at this and be like, bitch, you were doing too much back then, but you was that bitch. Because let's be real, for my makeup people, makeup is art, and it's so ephemeral. And I mean that it only lasts for the amount of time that you allow it to last on your face. And who knows how long social media is going to be here. Something about having physical copy of your art from a digital print in addition to the makeup was a whole reason why I started this project. So I'm just glad it's coming to an end. And like I said, who knows if I'm going to do another one. But here's another one featuring eyebrows. And the thing about me is when I do an eyebrow, bitch, that's gonna be cunt. Like, you said what facelift? Look at her. Crazy. I look crazy on camera. But yeah, I have nothing to say about this one other than, actually no, I will say something. I don't usually do glamour, but when I do glamour, I always end up going really ham on the design in the eye area. So that's what this was. It was an attempt to just play with a regular foundation again, and I couldn't help myself, and that's where we landed with the eye shape. If you guys watched, I did review the Peter Thomas Roth Instant Eye Firming Gel Cream. I don't even know, because I mean, I'm 37 years young, but of course I do have creases under my eye, and it's just inevitable. So I reviewed a product that helped not only look at the product and how well it works, but how well it works with the type of makeup that I do, Avant-Garde, color foundation, etc. This one was weird because I've never actually like talked on camera while getting ready. So the design was just kind of sporadic, and you could kind of tell because of the details aren't as clean, and just really love it. Actually, I don't really like it. It's horrible. You ugly bitch. Why are you so ugly? Okay, so the next look was the finale to Pride. And let me show you the makeup wipe first, because that gives more color burst. And here we go. Now this look was actually inspired by a digital artist called Jabari. I think I'm saying that right. So love just the color story on this here. Really loved this makeup look. It was really intense. So difficult getting the blend right, but at the end of the day, it came out really cool. And up next we have another beauty glam makeup look. I'm actually wearing eyebrows, and I wanted to play with color brows, and let me tell you, I'm never gonna do it again because that shit was so difficult. I really wanted to just create a look. Now that I knew what lemonade sounded like from Espa, was just create a look that actually went well with it. And last but not least, we have the Ultimate Alien. For me, love a color foundation always, and this was just really fun to create. I really wanted the blue to give that effect that it was glowing. I'm sorry, the green to give that glowing effect. And yeah, that's the final look, the finale. All right, so that wraps up my makeup looks. I think for the last page, we'll probably on camera take this all off. 32, 33. 33 and 25 is, that's 53, 58 makeup looks total. That is wild. So from September last year up until July, we have this. So much work was put into this. I'm honestly really proud of myself for sticking through a hobby. I remember it was like 2021, and the struggle was real. I remember always shaking, putting on eyeshadow, and just things being crooked and wonky. So for anyone new to the game, just believe in yourself. Honestly, as corny as that shit sounds, like, you have to really want it. And I really wanted to look cunt, because let me tell you, the minute that setting powder hit my face, I was a new bitch, okay? And then you couldn't tell me that I was going to become some alien looking freak, exploring makeup. And I don't know, I still think that there's room for me to grow. And yeah, just really excited that I have this as part of my journey, because fuck social media, it's just such a weird place to store your art. So I do have this here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. It's probably just going to be tucked away somewhere, but yeah, who knows? In a few years, who knows if I'll still be doing makeup. But yeah, super proud of this. And if you are exploring makeup, stay tuned, because this is kicking off my Making Faces series, where I start introducing a little bit more of my technique and unmuting myself from social media, because I have a lot to say. Yeah, thank you for watching and just the endless support, and see you at the next one.